Yo, Wagwan YouTube. Wagwan. Just another sunny day where we yap. You know what I'm saying? I just did it. So I just want to talk about a couple things, you know, that I forgot about in the last video. I also want to, you know, just yap, bro. You know what I mean? I just did it again. See, like in the last video, I noticed how I say certain things way too much. Like, like, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, every time I say stuff like that, I'm obviously trying to gather my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? See, I just did it again. It's just so it's just so ingrained in the way I talk, bro. But at least I'm self-aware and honest enough with myself to to notice that. You know what I mean? And figure out a solution. So throughout the whole video, this whole video, I'm gonna attempt to mitigate doing that. You know what I'm saying? So like my way of mitigating it is to lessen the amount of times I say it, and when I'm thinking, just just pause, breathe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to say something, I don't have to verbalize something when I'm just thinking, because that's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking out loud, man. You know, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I'm trying to intellectually articulate myself, there's so many people that will not want to listen to anything you got to say because you ain't present yourself in a perfect way. You know what I'm saying? Or in an intellectual way. You know what I mean? See, I'm doing it a lot. I might cut this stuff out. I don't know. But I just want to talk about some things, bro. In the last video, we talked about dragons and stuff like that. And I forgot one of the like dopest things to talk about when we talking about dragons, and how to understand what the dragon type vibes is about. And that's Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? Dang, see, I just did it again. But I need to cut the grass, bro. But you know, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, bro, like, that's all about Kundalini and hidden potential. That show all about that, bro. Of course, it's an anime, so it's comical, and you know they over exaggerate a lot of things. But you know, the whole concept of the Dragon Balls granting you wishes, all of that is talking about manifesting your reality. Because the Dragon Balls, the 7 Dragon Balls, is your 7 chakras. Your 7 chakras is your 7 major organs. You feel me? All of this stuff is just hinting towards how when you maintain your well-being, you will be equipped to manifest whatever you wish. You'll be in the right frame of mind to do and perform in this world the actions in a way that's gonna translate to something that you wish, right? So that's Dragon Ball Z, man. You know what I mean? Like, even cause that's like my favorite anime. I do watch anime. Like, I watch anime. I'm a gamer, high key black nerd type shit. You know. So it really don't. You know. I'll say that, like, most like real black people, like hood ghetto niggas, you know, they think you a cornball if you would on that type of stuff. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, they really not fucking with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They go into another thing I want to talk about today. Is like the standards of what make you a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? And when they hold you to those standards to the point of where you trying to find a relationship, and like people don't want to mess with you just because you exhibit certain traits. Like, that's just traits of having the traits of a matured human being. Like, taking care of yourself. People call you soft and stuff like that, and like, I think that is so stupid. Like, that is pure ignorance, bro. Absolute ignorance. It's the same thing when, like, these females have these standards, bro, that's so, like, specific. It's so specific, bro. And them standards be so unrealistic. You know what I mean? Like, they just be so, like, it just blows my mind. The mentality behind people when they trying to find a relationship, bro. You gotta have an open mind, bro. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, the person that you may fall in love with, they may not be exactly what you, like, the standards that you holding them to. You know what I'm saying? Like you closing away so many opportunities, bro. You know what I mean? I'm still saying it, but I'm trying my best not to. But I'm gonna go back to Dragon Ball Z. So we talked about the Dragon Balls and stuff like that. You find the Dragon Balls, you say the little phrase, and Shenron, the big dragon, come out, and he give you 3 wishes. I say that's all Kundalini, bro. You know what I'm saying? When your chakras are aligned, organs, when you maintain your well-being to a certain standard, and you will be fueled. You'll have the energy, plenty of energy, to manifest whatever it is you want to do in this life, or whatever you want in this life. You know what I mean? I did it again. It's such a habit, but you know, I've been doing this YouTube stuff for like 4 months now, and you know, I'm a baby at this. Like, I just started. Like, mind you, I ain't the most social nigga, you know, like, really stepping out my comfort zone with all this stuff. But I have to do something creative, bro. You know what I mean? And the thing about YouTube is, like, YouTube, it's called YouTube. It's a window to you, you know? Like, when I'm talking to the camera, I'm also talking to myself. Just like if you're an artist, if you're a really good artist who is mindful of the things that they create and put out in the world, you know that, like, this stuff is a reflection of you. You You know what I mean? Whatever you create in this life, you want it to be a proper reflection of your character, you know? And that's the thing about me. See, the weird thing about why I critique myself in that way is because, like, it started as a thought. This also ties into the Dragon Ball Z stuff. This all started as a thought. I was rewatching the video and I was like, dang, I say this stuff a lot. Know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I say it so much, bro. And in this world, you know, people will easily outcast you just because you don't speak perfectly. I never really liked English. You know what I mean? Why? Because I never really liked school. Why? Because you held to these standards that restricts who you are as an individual. Like, it limits, you know what I mean? That's why I don't like those things. Even when I'm making music, I like the freestyle. I don't like trying to be too perfect, because that's what make this stuff take longer to make. You know? It shouldn't be that difficult. Freaking mosquitoes, bro. Like, very irritating. But like, I try my best not to put myself in a box and be held to too many standards, because, you know, perfection is an illusion. Don't get me wrong, like, steel sharpens steel. Like, it's good to have a certain goal that you're trying to reach as far as character, but when you focus too much on that, you miss the opportunity to just go ahead and create. You know what I mean? Like, you just miss that opportunity. That's why, like, I try not to be so perfect, and I try to limit as much editing as possible, because I want this to be a raw, organic reflection of me. That's why I do that. I don't know what that noise is, but it's loud as hell. But it goes back to what I was talking about, though, as far as manifesting the reality that you wish to see. Because life is a reflection, bro. In every aspect. Every single aspect. The people you meet, the animals you encounter as you walk around day to day, it's all a reflection of you. And the things that's going on in your mind while you thinking. Oh yeah, that brings me back to what I was saying. Like, me critiquing myself in my mind, it manifested in my reality as an ad on YouTube. And, like, me personally, when cause, like, I'm already so, like, I already critique myself crazy. I'm pretty sure everybody else do too. But when it gets to the point where you got somebody externally coming up to you saying verbatim the same things that you saying in your mind, like in the back of your mind all day, that stuff is irritating, bro. I find that stuff extremely irritating. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that stuff, bro. And it just appalled me, bro. Like, the mind, bro. The mind, see, this life is ruled by the mind. All is mental. And the mind has these certain standards that, because it's all about intellect. The mind got these certain standards that if you don't hold to that standard, bro, you don't exist. Like, you're irrelevant. You're a bot. That's what people say. The mind is very condescending. You know what I mean? But like I said, ain't nobody perfect. And your imperfection is what make you unique. So the mind is always that motherfucker that's just hating, bro. That's just really hating, bro. You know what I mean? The thing about the mind is, like, it's gonna reflect whatever you give it and whatever you focus on. So like I said, I had that thought and it immediately showed up in my reality. And I'm like, people could easily chalk it up like, oh, Google monitoring, my habits and blah, 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 on some real pseudo stuff. But like, it's just a small example of how your thoughts manifest into reality, like literally. But what throw me is like, why is it the negative shit? Why is the shit that I find like fucking annoying and irritating? Why it can't be something I actually want? That's where that's where that working on yourself and that spiritual growth stuff go, and maturing and understanding how this stuff works on a deeper level. So your mind don't become your enemy, and you just become someone who just hate life in all aspects because you wouldn't feed your mind with the right type of stuff. I don't think I need to talk any more about that, but I just found that crazy how, like, I thought about that and it just showed up as an ad verbatim talking about exactly what I was thinking about. It was an ad. It was like, if you wanna not speak by saying like, and now I'm saying it verbatim exactly what I be saying. See, like now I think it's really because I made the video, and in the video I said it like so many times, it showed up as an ad. That's crazy, bro. But like, to me, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, bro. Why the fuck are they paying attention to what I'm doing so much that you throwing that ad in my face? Like, I actually want to see that shit. Like, you feel me? It's just like, are you serious? Like, whenever I pay attention to an ad, it's when it got some like some little jingle to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it got something that's entertaining. Like, it may be funny or comical or something like that. But when it's something like that, bro, where you're just being invasively like in my thoughts, like, come on now. Like, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool, bro. Like, no, I don't like that. But like I said, like, when stuff like that, shit that you think about, that irk you, that bug you, and it just immediately showed me in reality, that shit weird, bro. I don't like that. I really don't. You know what I mean? We gotta do some work. Need to fix that. Like, for real. That's why I'm verbally coming on here and being transparent, honest with myself. Cause like I said, this is YouTube. I'm really talking to myself. Like, I'm only 4 months in. no public speaking. I actually used to not, like, I'm so intimidated to do this stuff, like, if I'm being quite honest. But you know, stuff happened in your life, you get to a point where you really just, you just like, I don't really care anymore. Like, fuck it type shit. So that's the point I'm at with when it comes to this shit, for real. And you know, when I was in them dark places in my mind, I was like, if I'm gonna be alive, bro, I gotta create stuff. I gotta do stuff that I actually want to do. Like, I can't give too much of my energy to shit that I don't want to do. Like, that defeats the purpose of why we came here, bro. We didn't come here to be doing a whole bunch of shit that we didn't want to do. Now, a lot of that is necessary for spiritual growth, maturing. Like, it build character. But like, it get to a certain point where, you know, the shit is a pain in the ass, and you just like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, when motherfuckers get to that point where they just hate in life. Like, I know that, like, you know, a person offing themselves is not gonna solve no problems, bro. It's just gonna come full circle back in the same situation in another life with different circumstances. It's not gonna solve anything. So, like I said, if I have to put up with it, I'ma just, you know, not take this shit as serious as I've been taking it. This is why most people, like, are fucking want to be comedians. Always want to make fun of shit, especially in the black community. Like, going back to, like, trying to be perfect. Like, when it come to people in my community, like, they all these niggas hold you to a certain standard. Like I said, I'm a nerd, a black nerd. You know, I know a lot more than the average nigga. You know what I mean? I know stuff. I ain't just talking about one paradigm of life, as far as, like, you know, what most niggas be on. Y'all all know what the fuck I'm talking about. And, like, when it come to specific females like that, we gonna go into, like, the relationship stuff and, like, standards of men. So when it come to black girls, black women, most black women, the hood type, the ghetto girls, they only want that one type of nigga that's like a degenerate. That's the only type of nigga they want. You know what I mean? But then when they, like, shit, like mid-30s, single as fuck, and, you know, one of them types that want to be on the internet talking down on men and stuff like that, now you want to be, like, still hating on the same type of niggas that can actually, you know, give the things that you want out of a relationship. But, like, the thing about women, bro, it's like they be real in their head, imaginative and fantasizing about shit. And if you don't meet their standard of what they fantasize in their head, bro, like, you know, they not gonna pay you no mind, bro. And the nigga that do meet that standard, all them women are want to fuck with that one nigga, bro, that's dogging them, that ain't treating them how they want to be treated. And like I said, that shit don't make sense to me. It's so stupid, bro. Because, like I said, you want life to be a proper reflection of who you are. If you want to be treated a certain type of way, you got to reciprocate that energy when you interacting with motherfuckers, right? And like those women who think like that, this is why they attract the same type of dudes, bro. And then when the type of dude that like they really want or they really need, that they spirit actually need, they ain't even paying attention to them because they don't meet this certain standard. They don't reach this height requirement. Dumb shit, bro. Like, it's just stupid. Another thing about women, bro, is like they always want to be the ones that be entertained all the time. But a lot of them boring as hell. Like, ain't got shit to talk about for real. But other people's life. You know? That shit weird to me. That shit weird. For me, like, my standards of a woman, bro, of course, personality. That's one. Personality is everything. If a girl got a great personality, bro, you can look past like certain standards. You can look past that stuff. You know what I mean? Because them standards, bro, all them standards is what people want out of a relationship, because they too focused on how other people perceive what they got going on in their life. So like they relationship, just like parents and their children, they use their relationships as like things to flaunt towards other people as like they better than them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They use like parents, they use their kids as like a trophy. You know, they want everything about their life to be something that people is gonna be envious and jealous of. But you know, from my perspective, from me who don't be in people's business, I'm purely focused on creating my life and focusing on what I need to maintain as far as my well-being and all that. All of what I do is putting my energy into myself, and that's what all of us should be focused on. But the type of people who don't be doing that, these the ones that be saying the most out of pocket shit. These the ones that be complaining about they want this and that. They keep manifesting the same scenarios with the same people. It's because you focusing your energy on the wrong things, bro. And what you focus on grows. It's just like, as you maturing as a human, like, you would think motherfuckers would learn that shit, but like, nah. Some learn quicker than others, man. Common sense ain't too common nowadays, as they say. They go back to the standards of being a man or a woman. Like, do y'all, when it come to being in a relationship, do y'all not realize that like we are human first before we have to assume role as man or woman? We're human first, and humans, every human need to eat, sleep, shit. Every human go through the motions of this life shit. Every human go through the human experience. Like a good relationship are two individuals who understand that and understand exactly what each person need, to maneuver through this life as a couple together, But like I said, those people that focus on the wrong things, that's only focusing on themselves and how they perceive and how people perceive them, like those motherfuckers, them the motherfuckers that be like perpetuating like toxic relationships, you know. This is why like the dating game is so fucked up, cause like people holding motherfuckers to too many standards, bro. Like y'all got way too many standards, bro. You know what I mean? A man soft cause he know how to cook. Like what the hell? Like what the fuck? Like you do realize like before I was in a relationship with you, like I was living by myself as an adult male. What the fuck am I supposed to eat? Especially if I'm like on the healthy tip. God forbid I'm like vegetarian, trying to eat some fast food and shit. Like these niggas, like to know how to really cook as a vegetarian, bro, you damn near need to be a chef. Cause them the only niggas who know how to prepare those things. Like prepare a decent meal using plant-based ingredients. You feel me? Like going to those fast food places, they not gonna have nothing you gonna want to eat. And even in the restaurants, bro, it's so like uncommon to the point where they'll give you like trash shit. Some fucking lettuce with a tomato on there. Some bullshit. You feel me? Some bullshit, bro. So like when you're in a position like that, bro, you gotta cook for yourself. Like you gotta, you know, like me, my passion for cooking came from me wanting to improve my well-being. As I became more healthy and established a more healthy lifestyle as far as what I consume, like as food and sustenance, this is how I learned how to cook. Cause when nobody else gonna do it but me. This is just like stuff that a human being learns as they mature. Like that ain't got nothing to do with being a man or woman. That just got to do with being a matured human. Like that's the thing, bro. Y'all like I said, y'all set too many standards, bro. And y'all try to separate things too much, bro. Try to separate things way too much. And like you end up being unsatisfied with life, bro. You don't get the things you want because you like separate things way too much, like I said. This is why like I don't really get too deep into like too much mainstream sciences and stuff like that no more, cause like that's another thing. Or religion. It's all a way to categorize things and separate things, which is valid, but you know, ain't nothing new under the sun. Like we separating the same things that everybody is seeing for been seeing for eons, bro. Like you think just because you came up with a new way of separating things that this is just the way? Like no, bro. Like you're not finna fool me. Like you ain't saying nothing new, bro. Like most of these scientific discoveries and stuff that they discover and find out in these fields of sciences, I just look at it, I'm just like, bro, we already knew this. It took y'all like decades to learn something very simple that we can find out from maturing in life and observing. It's just crazy to me, but to each his own. But like, yeah, bro, like if y'all want to maintain a healthy relationship, look at this person as a human before you put them in the standard of male or woman, because every human is emotional. This is what make us human, is the fact that we bear emotions. The difference between male and woman, the male, he just have more control. A matured male has more control over his emotions. He don't let that shit, like, you know, While female, she more in tune. She embrace them more. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, females got their intuition and all of that stuff. That stuff that go beyond what we can perceive in this reality, because they ain't more in tune with the energy of stuff. But we all human, so we all got the same traits. And life is all about balance. So like, you supposed to be trying to balance the two. You supposed to embrace both sides in order for you to be actually mature. Yeah, like a male, he gains emotional intelligence and maturity, you know, from being overly emotional, from overreacting. You know, like it come from fucking up. It come from not being perfect. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the thing, bro. Like, ain't nobody perfect, bro. Like, these standards that we be holding, you know what I mean? It really don't mean shit for real. Like, it's cool to have a standard and like have a goal to reach as far as character, but like you can't go too deep on it, because it just restrict too much of real raw real shit, like dead ass, no bullshit. That's why if I sound repetitive, that's the thing about like repeating yourself and saying repetitive things. It just sounds repetitive, and repetition is hell. But you gotta go through hell to reach heaven, bro. You gotta go through hell. Like I said, I'm 4 months in, so like, I may sound stupid while I'm talking on the camera, but I hope that people really pay attention to my character and who I am as a person, rather than this stuff that we hold as standards for people to be looked at in a certain type of way. You know, because that being perfect and, you know, that stuff is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Judging motherfuckers, it's not cool. It's not cool. That's a reason why we do those things. But like I said, everything about life is about balance, bro. You need to know where that line is drawn. You need to know that. That take maturity and wisdom. You know? What else I want to talk about, bro? Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all something, bro. Cause I forgot to show y'all in the video, like some dragon stuff. You know, I got this medallion from one of the master teachers who ain't on the scene no more. I forgot Cud's name. It's like Mitchell something. But I found out about him through somebody else, and that's Brother Yosef. Brother Yosef is a pretty cool guy. He the one that taught me about how to commune with dragons and stuff like that. So shout out to him, man. But I got this medallion. It has Latin on it. It says Order of Dragons. Now, when I looked at that, I didn't know that that's what that meant. Like, I just looked at it and I thought in my head what it may say, and I'm pretty sure this says Order of Dragons. So, yeah. And then in the video, I talked about Likalea, and me personally, I try to get a whole bunch of that shit. Cause this some rare shit for real. This is Likalea though. Let me see if I can get in the sunlight. Let's see. There you go. See, I make jewelry out of this stuff. I say I showed pictures like this is what it looked like. I got something else too. No, this is called Naga Eye, but it come from the same stuff as Likalea. Come from those caves that I was talking about. These dudes, they light the candles. They set the vibe. You know what I'm saying? They really light the candles to heat the cave up because it's an enclosed space. So you know you put some heat in there. You know it's gonna heat up, and it just make the metals, or you know, because this is basically what it is. It's like a metal. It's like a metal. And make this stuff like more loose. You know, it melts it, and like they chant like a snake charmer. They do these chants and mantras, and they literally and this shit literally comes out the wall like wiggling and shit. It's the craziest shit I ever seen in my life, bro. When I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, this the real deal. Like this is no bullshit. Like, look it up, man. Look a lay it. I really like these pieces because they look very unique. And like, you know, you can find this stuff in all sizes. You can find, just like you can find a big slab of amethyst or something like that. Like, you can find this stuff, and it comes from Thailand specifically. Yeah, I just had to show y'all that though. And I had to talk about, you know, me critiquing myself with this YouTube shit. Because like I said, it's all a reflection. I just want this to be a proper reflection of my character. I hope this attract people, you know, of like mind. You know, people who aware, who think outside the box, who ain't closed-minded. Because when you closed-minded, them people who got too many standards. They got too many things that restrict imagination and the way you can think. Because the imagination is the key to you, you know, unlocking your DNA and having access to like ancestral knowledge and stuff like that. Stuff that just click, you know, that just instinctually just makes sense. The more standards, the more stuff, the more walls you have up. Look at that black butterfly. When I was starting the video, I was trying to start the video showing it, but it kept flying around and stuff. But like, that nigga's still back here, bro. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, stuff like religion. You know what I mean? People don't realize that like a lot of these forms of sciences are religions. Oh, it's two of them. That's dope. A lot of these forms of sciences are religions because they do the same thing a religion does, and that's like separate things. It categorizes things. That's the whole purpose of it. All they doing is giving it another title. That's all they doing. I love butterflies. You know what I mean? And I like his darker cousin, the moth. Moths are cool. They kind of creepy looking. As with most things that's connected to the moon. But moths are cool too, you know. Them motherfuckers get huge. Like big as your hand. Like them motherfuckers get fucking huge, like big as your face. Kind of scary, not gonna lie. But moths are chill, bro. They just as chill as a butterfly. You know, it's really, you know, was what's creepy is what they connected to. You know what I'm saying? You know, anything connected to the moon, you know what I mean, is gonna be connected to like monstrous type of things, you know. Things that are illusionary, and I ain't gonna go too deep into that. Bro, why is this on my phone, bro? Anything that start with that MO, you know, it's a monster. Yeah. Goddamn mosquitoes. The motherfucking mosquitoes. You feel me? Really don't like them niggas. I'm trying to figure out what else I should talk about, man. Cause I'm pretty sure I'm gonna cut this up into multiple videos. You know, I'm gonna just come out here and just talk instead of just like trying to focus super hard on one topic. And like whenever I articulate some topics, I'm gonna articulate it from a perspective of me relaying what I didn't research about these things. Cause I find these things interesting. And I know like the average person is not researching, you know, they not looking nothing up. Or the average person is distracted by TikTok and shit like that. So I'm gonna articulate it in a way like I'm not trying to teach you something, or like I'm not trying to like force this information upon you. Like if you're curious and you listen, that's just you, that's on you, you know? And that's good. That's a good trait to have. But like every time I look something up and I research something, it's an opportunity for me to learn more about what I already know. So, you know, we got some cool topics coming up soon. I just got to do the research. I got to do, you know, proper presentation and representation of what I want to talk about. And in the future, when I have better circumstances, we can do this stuff in a way that I really want to do it, with a whole little setup, my little station. I live with my family, so there's no privacy. I don't have no dedicated space to myself to do what I want to do. So this is how I have to do it for the moment. This is how I have to do it. It is what it is. So bear with me, guys, as we go on this YouTube journey.